Yeah, there we go.
Over on
Streaming
Facebook.
live on Facebook.
Oh, that's class.
It's streaming live.
Well, it will shortly. It's just setting it up, actually. It's trying to connect.
It actually has notified me here, so that's why. Yeah, there's a little message. Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Yeah, it is. People can watch it live now on Facebook. Yeah.
Goodness.
Who knew?
The wonders of modern internet inventions.
Exactly.
That sounds like a poem, Mary.
By the way, it's only other people's poems tonight, is that right?
For the open mic, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really? Not our own in the open mic.
Yeah, it's the only night of the year, Margaret, where we
Perfect.
dedicate the open mic to other people's poems.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Mary O'Connell, do you want to lift home tonight? I'll bring you home.
Oh, what a funny joke, because I'm already home. And you have also given me lift. So thank you for that. The thought was there.
Yeah.
Better than Eurovision, lads. Here's the
Isn't it just, yeah.
You're looking great. We can never see inside no Bheal. You're all behind corners.
What's the weather like in Cork? I remember 3 years ago wandering around in the rain.
Oh. No,
That was yesterday, Derek, but today was really nice. Good sun.
Oh,
Really,
oh.
really good.
Right.
Glorious.
Yeah, you know,
I shall miss it then.
yeah, you must have. Yeah, we saw a lot of chemtrails before 2 days before it started raining. So we see them regularly 2 days before it starts raining.
Hi, Derek. Is that when you were on Castletown Bear?
No, it was in Cork about 3 years ago. I remember it was the year we stayed with Olive, and it poured with rain all the time we were there. But otherwise, we've had lovely weather.
Yeah, we've been having clear skies and everything.
Castletown Bear, yes, Seamus, yes, it did rain there.
It did, very much.
Yeah.
I remember meeting you.
That's right, yes.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know if they're having another.
We can see more.
I don't see Charles and Rab. Can you see them?
Maybe you have a second page now, because I have 2 pages by now.
They may not be.
Oh, I can scroll. Correct.
Yeah, that's the thing. The more we get,
Yeah.
the bigger the thing, and my computer doesn't show it all in one.
Oh, it's Cathal. Hi, Cathal.
Hey guys, how are you?
Where are you? I can't see you.
I can see Rab.
His camera's not working.
Oh, that's okay. Ah.
Charles and Rab are on the one connection.
That's money.
Where's Carl? Oh, there.
Hey Sue, what's up? How are things?
Later.
So get the notebooks ready. It's another 3 minutes before
Hi, Lucy. I've seen your message there. I can see 32 people here.
She's on. She's new.
I am muted, but I'm not now. Okay.
You are.
Yeah, I can only see 9 at once, and I have to swipe to see everybody.
Okay.
I'm getting a bit lost.
25 at once.
If you look at
Connor.
the top,
Hi, Connor.
you got your view options there. I don't know.
You see me,
what they're
Connor?
like on your
View options.
on your
Where is
setup
it?
there. You can
It's
change
on-
the view options there.
Yeah, but
I don't seem to have it. It must be. It's a iMac.
I think it's gallery. Have you got a gallery option?
Gallery option, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably top right.
Speaker view. Oh yeah.
I want to close that chat again.
And it says widescreen as well, doesn't it?
Well.
Yeah, it does next to it, to the right of it. It does, yeah.
Meeting settings.
It says into full screen, doesn't it? It's not happening
Video
anymore.
and gallery.
Yeah, just to the left of the full screen, there should be a view there. Speaker view or gallery view.
Yeah, gallery view is great.
I prefer that, yeah.
Covered it.
I did do that at the beginning, but it's only 9 it's showing me for some reason.
I have 25 and I didn't do anything.
Well,
Never mind.
I have
I like the 9 I
25
have.
and then I have to scroll. And that confuses me alone.
Right arrow.
Just make them smaller. Anyway.
Countdown started.
Ends out.
Anybody have a spare pen, lads?
I
can't find mine at all.
I'll email it over.
Sound.
Under the horse head.
Oh, Josh is coming on. Josh.
Oh, Josh, are you there, Score?
Yeah, Josh is away in the States, is he? He's still not in video or in the audio, but
I saw the name coming up, all right, yeah.
he's connecting. Amy is coming on. Nice one.
Yeah, you definitely see a bigger spread than myself. Yeah.
Who's Gary and Partridge? Do we know them?
Yeah, Partridge is a guest poet. He's in Vermont at the moment.
Wow.
Wow.
He's just keeping it mute for now, I think.
Yeah.
I wonder if Rab did it off his phone, because my thing works fairly well on the phone. I get to see him. I'd love to see Charles.
Charles is no. Rab posted in the chat earlier that he has no camera, and so
I
he
get you.
can hear us, he can see us, but he cannot be seen or be heard. And so Charles and himself are just listening from the background. That's how I understood it.
I think Rab still has a phone from the 1990s.
That's worse than myself.
A secure one.
Like a movie star, it's a movie TV he's got.
A non-Google controlled one.
So we have to do it now for Blue Monday, because it's just too much fun to see everybody, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, all the writing is a bit of a jaded.
Okay, we've just gone past Tupper's date, so we should officially start the session. Welcome everyone. Thanks all for logging in, I suppose, and delighted to have this possibility to create a virtual O'Vale. Hopefully we'll be able to create more of them. Who knows? This is the 644th O'Vale, the first virtual one. And we'll have 4 parts. We won't obviously have poetry films. We would have liked to have had, but there's a lot of technical hiccups around that. You can show videos, but a lot of people have been saying that it turns up as a black screen on their screen where the shared video should be playing. So we're going to leave that side of things off for now. I think we've got enough of a technical challenge in front of us for tonight as it is. So we'll kick off as usual with the 5-word challenge. We'll start that shortly and I'll explain how that goes and what have you. After that, we'll have contributors to the new 5 Words book. Came off the press just 10 days ago. That has been sent to the shortlisted poets. There will be copies made available for the other contributors, and I hope you all have a link to the PDF in the meantime. So we'll be listening to the contributors and shortlistees, and then after that we'll hear from our 2 guest poets, Derek and Partridge, who are both connected for about 8 minutes each, and then after that we'll have our open mic for other people's poetry. Right, so we can use the general chat window for this, Mary. Hi, Mary.
Yeah. So take off the gallery thingy. Is that what you're saying?
No, you can leave that. But if you go down a little bit at the bottom of your screen, there's a little chat button that says chat, and if you click on that, then a chat screen opens on the right-hand side of your screen. Can you see it there?
Yes, but it's all about well, there are messages, text messages coming up.
Communicate there.
And underneath them, you can type something in and press enter. And
that's how
right. Oh, yeah. I won't be entering the the 5-word challenge. I will just, I'll drop out of that. So, but anybody who does, you're saying that this is where to do it, is it?
Yeah.
Where do you do them?
Hey, Josh. Are
Um,
you in the States? I can't hear you. You're muted.
where do you have to write in the name? Sorry, did I
You
miss
wanna
that?
unmute yourself.
All right. Okay. Thanks,
Hear me
Sue. Sue.
Yay! Nice one.
Hi, Josh.
What time is it? Where are you? Where are you?
It's 3:30 here, and I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
All right, cool.
Oh.
Nice one. Nice one. Nice
Yep.
one. Good to see
Good
you.
to
Are
meet
you safe? Are you well? Is your family safe and well?
Sue, can I
Yes,
interrupt you,
everybody's
please,
doing
if you
good.
don't mind? We've started the session here. So if you'd like to communicate with Josh, what you can do if you look in the chat room, you can actually choose
sorry.
Josh and you can speak to him directly through there. It's a really great chat room that you can privately message anybody you want and they can message you right back. So you can have a conversation all through this and we won't have to stop Sue, in order to.
Sorry. I am so
It's
sorry.
all right, Sue. Thanks very much. We're all getting used to it. Okay. So we're going to start the 5-word challenge. Most of you know how this works. Some of you maybe don't. We're just shortly going to ask for 5 words. And the first 5 words that are typed into the chat room from different people, we will take those words, if they're acceptable words to everyone, and we'll take 15 minutes, work those words into a piece of writing, a small poem or a short piece of creative prose. So I'll mute everyone then for 15 minutes and then we'll come back, and in the order, when I give you the message, you can type your name in and you can type 5 words next to your name, and then you're in the list for reading your 5-word poem. And we can take up to 25 people. I guess we could pretty much take up everyone, but by the time you've written your 5-word poem, there could be twice the amount of people. I just don't know.
Paul, I'm not sure where you write in your name.
Okay, so Mags, there's a chat button at the bottom of the screen.
Yes, okay, there you are.
And if you click that, to the right-hand side, you can see a place where you can type in.
Yeah, I said it'll be to you directly, so.
So I'm going to type 5 words, Paul, here. Can you see it there?
Oh, I have you, yeah.
Yeah. 5 words, Paul. Right. So that's what you'll do. You 5 words, Mags. Whoever wants to read the first 25 names that come in there, we'll have them read their 5-word challenge poem. And then at the end of that reading, you're going to get to vote on the poem you like the best, and you can type in winner like that. Winner in the name. Okay? If you all vote for me, then I'll win the 5-word challenge. Whoever gets the most votes in the 5-word challenge will get a copy of the latest 5 words anthology, which I'll post to them, which just get your address, as well as a book of from Joe Burns, who, if you remember, was meant to be our guest poet in March. And Fiona Bolger took over from her. She was going to come over from Germany, but because of COVID kicking off there earlier, particularly in her area, she decided to not come. So those 2 books I'll post off to the winner, and you can pour yourself a drink of your choice from your fridge, of course. Carmen won't be around to help you with that.
How generous.
Okay.
Is there a first word? Do I see a first word there already?
No. That's just me explaining how to vote for the winner. All right. Okay. Are we all okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. All right.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yes. Amy is showing us there that you've got reactions, and you can put up. You can use thumbs up if you like. You can even clap if you like, but we won't be counting those claps. You can just do that for the crack. It's up to you.
Oh, look at that. It's so cute.
All right. Okay. It's time. Can we have 5 words from the audience, please? First 5 words.
Virus.
Okay, Mary has put in virus. I'm going to type it in for her. Virus. There it is. Virus.
I'm not getting this life update here.
Brick.
B-R-I-C-K?
Yes.
Okay, brick.
Silence.
Is that violets?
Silence.
L-E-N-C-E or E-T-S?
S for sugar, I for India, L for Lima, E for Echo, N for November, T for Tango. Silent.
Silent.
Silence.
Okay, we've got 5. We've got virus, brick, shiver, beer, and silent.
Virus, brick, beer. What was that? Virus.
Silent, silent. It's there in your chat on the right-hand side. I'll type them all in again.
Not actually appearing.
This chat thing isn't viewing as I'd like.
Virus, brick, shiver,
So scheiße, yeah. Come on.
beer, and silent. All right, so we all understand the rules? We do? You've got 15 minutes to write a poem or a piece of creative writing, including all 5 words. And then you'll get a chance to say your poem, and the most votes will win the 2 books.
I still can't see all the. Oh, Jesus.
Have you got the words, Sue?
Scroll down.
I can't see all the.
Same problem, by the way. I was just listening.
It's not scrolling to where I'm wanting to see it. So the last one, I have shiver here and beer.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's arrived. Brick,
Got it.
shiver, beer.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So silence,
Coming from Amy.
brick, beer, shiver, and silence.
Okay, all right. See if
Sorry.
I can do that now.
Guys, could I just double check that? Because I seem to have 6 words. Virus, brick, violence, shiver, beer, and silent.
Yeah, violence isn't a word, Carol. The word was silent and not violence. So that's the second word you should omit.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul.
All right, cool. So we'll see everyone in 15 minutes.
Okay.
All right, good luck.
How can we go everybody?
Well, I can't see it now. I'm going to do it anyway because the people on Facebook Live need it. Someone's got music playing.
That was a nice idea.
Okay, we're back.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you have a 5-word poem and you'd like to say it, please type your name in and go 5 words your name. Some people are doing that already. I've got a few names already.
If you don't have anything to say as a human being, how will you have something to say to science? March to the beat of your own drum. Make up your own mind. Before that mind is made up.
The virus is weaponized cheap.
This is Gustav Holden and Ray. What it meant for him. That's in half now after just days to turn in a masterpiece. Save to Inbolt.
That's right.
Thank you. I've got to get myself one of these. It's awesome.
Someone got a TV on? No.
Yeah.
This beauty is over 1.5 times taller than Nelson's colon.
Going to 2 of 2 here. Why is that?
I swear to be a true and faithful counselor to the King's Majesty.
What's that?
Oh, I see.
Swear to be a truly faithful counselor to the King's Majesty on this Privy Council. I shall not know or understand any manner of thing to be attempted done.
That's
Unusual for a second. Let's see where that is coming from.
I swear to uphold the King's jurisdictions.
Yeah, I can't see who that is. All right.
Somebody coming through there singing. I'm falling to barracks.
Does Harry Martin agree? Problem?
Up to me. Right.
Okay. Right, we have enough names to start the 5-word challenge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 people are ready to read and counting. Just got that there. So what I'll do is, because of the noise factor, I'm going to mute everybody at the moment, and then I'll just call on you one by one. So the first step, and then you can unmute yourself just prior to reading. Okay. All right. Okay. So first of all, we have Simon Spichak.
Yeah. So this is called Last Transmissions from the Moon, May 15th, 2052. It hit me hard like a brick in the silent night. The realization sent shivers down my spine. These thoughts spread like a virus. I'm stuck here alone. I need help. I'm out of beer and toilet paper. 2015. I'm out of beer and toilet paper. I need help. I'm stuck here alone. These thoughts spread like a virus. Shivers down my spine. They hit me hard like a brick in a silent night.
Okay, thank you, Simon. Okay, so please remember the name of the poem you like best, so that you can vote for them at the end. Thanks, Simon. Next up, we're going to have Ada.
Oh, that's unexpected. Mine is called like an interjection. Take a breath. Curses be a bottle in almost silence. Then shiver at what you've done. Remain silent like the virus. Remain indoors, you fool. Or That's it.
Great, thank you, Ada. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, okay. Okay, third up we have is Denise.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh,
yeah.
Actually, Mo, I have you further down. Isn't there another Denise? Oh no, it is you. It is you, Denise.
I might as well break the news to you all now. I'm in the process of doing a transgender. It's a joke. It's my wife's laptop. Here's the poem. Coincidentally, the poem is called "The Queer Thing." It came quicker than expected, starting with a shiver. I put it down to a night on the beer. Then the silent fear. I shit a brick. When the test came back, it's the virus, said the doctor.
Thank you, Mo. Next up we have Philip Spillane.
Hello, yes, can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Don't need a bit of work, but anyway. A silent virus, tripped in zero gravity, drunk of beer of the cosmos, performing osmosis concentration. Every millisecond is a sponge in a microscopic consumption of alcohol. It's not the single brick that breaks the windows. It's the thousands of bricks that bludgeon themselves to shards. When I drink, I hear drunk viruses chorus in my ear. Breaking up, I feel the worst hangover, shivering down my bones. Not sure how. Needs work. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. Okay, next we have Julie.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice. This is great. Okay. Not the poem, this. Okay. Virtual insanity. Like a brick through your bedroom window at 3 a.m., that shiver, that silent, violent fright, beer goggles smashed on the floor, computer interrupted by a virus, life disrupted, tick-tock dancey, jerky movements. Shh, shh. Go back to sleep, darling. It's just a bad dream. Go back to sleep. Shh.
Thank you, Julie. Getting some virtual claps there. Next up we have Bernadette.
Hi, Paul. Hey, everybody. So we'll call this Corona. Solid as a brick he was until the virus hit, silently sending a shiver down both our spines. The final cure, a beer.
It's good advice, Bernadette. Thank you. Okay. Next up, we got Sue Blue.
All right. Where am I? All right, I'm unmuted already. Okay. Thanks. In the now. I sit in the sun in silence. The river murmurs before me. Spring leaves neon green shiver under the beaming sky as I squat perched on a brick. This virus is really a gift to the world, a present to our planet, enhancing the present moment, being in the now. A beer at hand, I am silent, letting my thoughts flow, going along with the river, to where it joins the sea, further down where I cannot go right now. The river takes me along to where my mind wants to be, needs to be. As I am cemented in lockdown, squatting on my brick, enjoying the greatest freedom of all, nature in the here and now.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Sue.
Thanks. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Amy.
Okay. 1 second. I hope you hear me okay.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Suddenly, the streets were silent. The spot where I usually sit to ask for spare change didn't have anyone pass by anymore. They had told everyone to stay home. Not sure what's going on. I don't have a phone. Something about a virus. My back is leaning against a red brick wall. The squished paper cup is empty, staring back at me. And I'm thinking about what tempts me. A beer. My hands shiver. It's not that cold, though. All has changed, yet I'm still here, alone with my fear. A home I don't have.
Thank you, Amy. Next up, we have Margaret.
Would that be me first? Or Margaret O'regan?
No, not Mags. Margaret.
O'Regan.
Margaret O'Regan, yeah.
Oh, Margaret O'Regan?
No, not Margaret O'Regan.
Okay.
McCarthy. Sorry.
Oh, Margaret McCarthy.
Yeah.
Sorry, Margaret.
Okay. Not small, but far away. Like children sitting on a cold brick wall, breezes come at us from all directions, and we chat about the world and all. No word of death or virus or infections. 2 meters is the mantra now. A beer raised up, not small, but far. And though the road of normal life is silent, and night is just a different form of day, we raise our voices defiant though they quiver. Mid unseen danger, we suppress the shiver.
Thank you, Margaret.
Nice. Nicely done.
Where's this person here? Tess Watson? Let me just mute them anyway. Okay, I think that's okay. Thank you, Margaret. Next up, we have Michael.
Hi. Give me a sack of bricks and I'll build you a virus with windows and a door for leaving. Give me a silent shiver and I'll meet you on the first floor beside an unused brick with the word water stamped into its frog. Give me the love of a good world and I'll show you a small pier reaching out into a lake where a shoal of fish are swimming into silver.
God, I don't know. If we do a little clap.
Thank you, Michael. Next up, we have Sue Cosgrave coming from Portugal.
Hi, everyone. Right.
Hi, Sue.
All day in the garden, on my knees, placing beer traps, real pubs for real snails, a happy death for some. Back inside, in the silent plague, sadness shivers the virtual air. I take a brick to the telly, down with these virus blues.
Obrigado.
Hope you didn't actually take a brick to the telly there, Sue.
We miss you, Sue.
Nice one. Thanks, Sue. Next up, we have Catherine.
Oh. Hi, everyone. Sorry, my broadband's so bad I can't give you a link, but I love seeing you all and miss you all big time.
Ah, we miss you too.
2020. This virus that divides us is nobody's friend. Drink beer and stay clear will save us in the end. Building a new extension with Zoom, brick by brick, will rescue me, rescue you from silent fear as we all shiver. But the shiver will lift. We will embrace in the arms that mean the most. To all my friends in Bheal, a heartfelt toast.
Thanks, Catherine.
Good woman, Catherine.
Next up, we have Stan.
Yeah, just on side, just getting off the, yeah, cool. Inspired by a news story, we sat on benches and deck chairs in our gardens or on the pavement and peered over fences to view a film screened on a gable end brick wall. It was a golden oldie, apt given our gathering was a type not seen in generations, not seen at all by the younger generations, who with cola and crisps clenched tightly, gazed awestruck at the images on a screen, on a wall, outside. The adults had beer and cheered when the movie started, was silent throughout, then cheered again at the end. It was cold then, and some, despite blankets borrowed from neighbours and friends, were shivering. But we were warmed too by community, by connection, by the simplicity of this Saturday night. A unique one, we said as we climbed into bed. No restaurants, no pubs, no club, no taxi home, and no talk of the virus. That's me.
Thanks, Dan. Next up, we have Andrea. Hey, Andrea.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, you've gone mute. You've muted yourself.
Have I? Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm doing it on my phone, so it's random. Okay. It's just untitled and very sparse. The virus is a brick that shatters me. I shiver out of the Zoom frame, my beer glass selfie silent in the corner, breathing glass shards. There you go.
Thanks, Andrea. Next, we have Ben.
Hello.
Hey, Ben.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Good, good. The Long Valley might be silent and thirsting for applause, but together we face forwards like animated bricks in a talkative wall. With tea, wine, beer, and plenty of cheer to keep those pesky Zoom bombers away, to keep the shiver of fear at bay, let's hope we see the end of this virus.
Thanks, Ben. We'll definitely see the end of the virus. I'm just hoping we see the end of this 5 words poetry.
It's a virus.
Nice one, thank you. Okay, we've got 5 more on the list so far. Oh, 6 now. But we'll then check if there are any more. I'm sure everyone can get to read now at least. So Mags Creedon is up next.
Okay, I'll give nice. Okay, silently she shivered in a sequence to each step. The landing creaked beneath his weight. Groaning, it carried him, bemoaning his fate. Confined to barracks, to this virtual Bheal. No mains, no pints of Beamish, no Aish the Vale. No jostling with nubile American girls from the States to our queer literary world. So like a virus, he spread himself over the couch, pouring warm beer, a warm Corona for his paunch. And he tackled his phone and he battered his laptop, cursing the Zoom and the split screens and the chat box. While still in her room, his enduring poor spouse, she'd quietly hit off on an e-shopping browse. If he keeps orating to his face on the screen, he'll never miss that credit card and I'm off on the spree. So says he, I'm sick of these viral spreads of virtual chats. I'm sick of the viral leaks of finance. I'm on the tick. I'll creep off like a virus off to the coast. But darling, if there's a roadblock, we'll both be toast. Sure, rev up the old SUV after the dark, and we'll head off for Knoll Court and we'll restart the old spark. That's it.
Thank you, Mags. Okay, next up we have Cedric.
My unmuted. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. So it doesn't have a title. It started with a warm beer, the casual luxury available to a layman after a due day of diligent work to bring enough home to carry on the next day. The drink, faded yellow and clear, poured in a dirty glass, then slid from on the zinc to a silent man whose gaze was directed words away. He grabbed the pint without a check and brought it to his lips. The movement was smooth, his fingers surprisingly slender. As he proceeded to drink, down his neck to his lower back runs a shiver. What a taste! Something's going on, he thinks, with the beverage. Is it poison or a virus? This beer is light, but his doubt is thick. He stares at the barkeeper, a brow raised. He stares back. He works in a bar. He's unfaithful. It's not when he gets home, rather the next morning, that he succumbs once more. Fear not, he's not dead. Only now his mind is stuck, forever thick as a brick.
Thank you, Cedric. Loads of virtual claps happening there. See if they translate into votes now at the end.
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Okay, we've got 4 left so far. 5 now. Whoops. No, there could be even more. Who knows? Next up, we have Cahill.
Hey there, guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one. Virus. A virus is weaponized change, biological grape shot, malicious code. It changes us, this mutating pinprick of dancing biblical angels, all eyes and hooks and shivers, a brick through a window, nanometers wide. It is 10 to 8, crack a beer and go outside. All down the street, we can hear the neighbors fucking. Afterwards, applause.
Jesus.
Thank you, Cahill. Okay, next up, we have Rosie O'Regan.
No title. The world falls silent in parts, broken by intermittent and constant birdsong, a solitary car, a galumphing beer drinker. Each bubble bursts into this one, or crystal clear blue ceiling, a brick falling, this virus, or collective shiver.
Thank you, Rosie. Next up, we have Jim.
Hi. So I don't know, I haven't written in a while, so I hope it goes well.
Hi, Jim.
Hi. And suddenly the world stopped. We tumbled down Maslow's ladder, breaking every leg the way down, left silent on the ground. No pubs, no clubs, no restaurants. Joe Exotic reaches stardom from prison. a sign of the times. Isolation in vogue. The big question is, what shall I wear to Tesco? To pick up a 6-pack of beer. I hear it weakens the virus, or maybe that's fake news. I shiver at the conspiracies thrown around like digital bricks.
Whoa.
Thank you, Jim. Like riding a bicycle, huh? Okay, next up we have Shauna.
Hey.
Shauna Lee.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. It doesn't have a title.
Next up we have Shauna. Oh. Shauna Lee. Can you hang on a sec there, Shauna? I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because there's there's a big, echo. I think I shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm not. I'm the only one unmuted now, and I will unmute Shauna. Okay,
Cool.
Shauna, go for it.
Yep. And so it was silent. No whispers shivered between cement and stone. The bricks that you stashed, the shouts of men and women falling from bars in the darkness of the morning, filled with beer and laughs and lust, and the sense that one acquires from being out all night, now still and empty. Occasionally they clutched the chatter of nervous passers-by. These days, all they hear is virus.
Thanks, Shauna. Okay. Next up, we have Molly.
Hi.
Hi, Molly.
This doesn't have a title either. Okay. As gyms go silent, home workout videos go viral. People swim laps in the bath, squat with king-size beds on their backs, run around kitchens with bricks tied to their feet. Me, I shiver as I crack open another beer, watch the bread in the oven rise like a bicep. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Molly.
I can't vote here, so I'm going to vote for him.
Yes, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Rosie has a vote, so she's going to pop in her vote. So, so you now get to vote for the favorite poet or poem, but by typing in their name and winner into the chat box, and we'll count those up over the next while things are going ahead. And yeah. And then we'll have the winner come and reread the poem. Someone's typed their whole poem in there. Oh, thanks. Hang on.
Rab.
Hang on.
We got one more.
We've got one more. We've got one more. I'm going to read this for Rab because Rab doesn't have a sound connection. So the bricks seemed to hang in the air, then impacted, all red, all over spilt beer, shattered bottles and gore. The wall seemed to shiver, gouts of dust shaken loose, then one brick, then another, a couple of FF bricks, Fianna Fáil bricks, some Fine Gaels, the odd Labour, a PD, half a brick, some Renewer rubble, the Progressive Democrats, all falling, all broken, a construction of corruption shown up in all its incompetence by a thing so tiny that the eye cannot see it. Surely the meek shall inherit the earth. Thank you, Rab.
Hey.
All right, so yeah, you can keep voting there. If you want to take back your vote because of Rab, you can. You can just say, you know, cancel my first vote. Rab's the winner, and we'll count those up in a while, and we'll call on the winner to come and read their poem again. All right, and then they'll win a couple of books, as you know. So now what we're going to try and do is go on to the, we're not going to call for a break because of course you guys can all have a break whenever you like. There's no real sense to us having a break. So now we're going to go for contributors to the 5 Words Challenge book. Now that includes shortlistees to the book. I think we could probably have the shortlisted poets read first. So I think what we'll do is we'll just call on those who are here who would like to read to type in shortlisted and your name, and then we'll have you come and read in order, and then you can also start at the same time. You can start putting in your names if you'd like to read that, and you've contributed a poem to the book from the 5 Word Challenges. You can just put your name in and contributor. So you either put your name in shortlistee or shortlisted, or your name in contributor, and we'll try and have the shortlisted poets come and read first if they've typed their name in first. Okay. I'm going to unmute all for a second and see if my eardrums don't burst. Yes, my eardrums are still okay. We've unmuted a lot of people, except for those who don't want to be unmuted.
Unmute now, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Great, what's your name? Thanks, Lucy. And Margaret. We'll just take 1 or 2 minutes to get this list going. Lucy.
Hey, Max, you're shortlisted. Kula bula. Oh, or is that the other Margaret?
I don't think just Max. Suddenly, I'm one of the regulars.
That's the other Margaret then. All right, nice.
Thanks for the old shout out anyway.
Well, you never know.
No, there's many Maxes tonight.
Okay, Amy, we're launching the anthology tonight, as we do on every anniversary. We have this book where the poems in there are from people who've contributed from the 5 Word Challenge, who sent in their poems. I don't think you have a poem in there, Amy. So yeah, it's people who've been published in this book. They're going to read next, and then we'll have the competition winner, Partridge, who's there. Can you hear me, Partridge? I think he might have left it on mute for the moment. And then we're going to have an open mic where you can read other people's poetry. So you can read someone else's poem on the open mic a bit later on, okay? All right. Okay. Just take a minute or two.
Yeah, Margaret was quite out there, I thought, yeah. Actually, as long as that, and then Cahill was great as well.
Oh. Sorry, Mary, can you ask that verbally to me? I'm not sure what you're saying there. I'm going to unmute you there.
Just for the open mic, I wasn't quite sure what the short list involved. I'm obviously not on the list for the 5 words. This is just, maybe it's premature, is it?
Yeah, it's premature for the open mic.
Okay.
Don't you worry, Mary. We'll get you onto the open mic.
Okay.
Sorry, Mary Nagel, you were asking about, is it other people here or?
Yeah, do you mean other OLers or anyone when it comes to the open mic?
For the open mic, it's anyone who wants to can read, up to 30 odd people, depending on where we are. But you can't read your own poem tonight. You have to read only other poets' poetry.
Anyone at all?
I'm sorry?
Anyone at all?
Anyone at all from across time and space, as long as it's not yourself.
Okay, thanks.
All right. We have Professor Titley in the house. Hello, Alan.
Oh,
hello,
I'm not seeing you.
Mark.
Oh, there you go.
Well, we can see part of him anyway. I don't know if you can hear us. I think we're setting up the sound there. All right. Okay. We've got some people reading so far. Okay. Not too many. Okay, let's try and get the winners there.
Ja, das ist doch schön, das ja. Gut.
All right, okay, we have enough names to start the contributors to 5 words. So again, I'm going to just mute everyone, and then you can unmute yourself just prior to reading, and then mute yourself again afterwards if you don't mind. So, first on the list, we have Lucy Home. Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
Let me just mute everyone first, and then will you unmute yourself?
I think I am unmuted, am I?
You won't be in a second.
Okay, I'm unmuted now?
Yes, you are, yeah. Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Great. Welcome. It's great that you could be here to read your poem.
Yeah, it's great to be here. So will I say the words as well that I had for that week, or?
Yes, do, yeah, please.
Okay. So the words were void, spin, blaze, minute, and sing. And my poem is called Smoke Flares, Pyro Prayers. It's been minutes since the sea of strangers raised me up, washed me onto the street. Mere seconds for storm clouds to swell, a sky now fit to burst. My staggering heart fights my brain, apportions pointless blame. You should have told me he wasn't gay. I assumed he knew I wasn't single. I thought I'd made a cool new friend. This is all our fault. We collided, fizzed like electrical wires in the rain. Heavy steam rising, all exits obscured. Head spinning, scalded from his face which burnt my own. Shoulders touching, back against the cool damp wall, mind in a state of déshabillé. Frontal lobe decimated when he grabbed my ponytail. We froze the bar clock, stretched an hour out. What little time to probe the aching void inside of me. No record of obsession born in lightning speed in this dingy basement club, stained with Jägermeister, foreign sweat and hash. Snatched handbags crunched underfoot, bank cards swallowed by the foggy pit. One moment before I met his gaze, I was full grown yet flawed. Lonely too, of that there's no real doubt. But for the blaze, I was unprepared. It set the past on fire, smoked me out of my careful cage. This is life, he said, take the good it gives, expect no more. I tried to outswim my panicked head, the velvet night, but not his shadow. Like a pyromaniac, I beckoned eyes of liquid brown. Come, pour a gallon of oil on these flames.
Thank you so much, Lucy. That's a lovely poem, gorgeous poem. And thanks to our judges, by the way, are here as well. Afric McGlinchey and Michael Ray, right there together on the screen. Thanks for putting this amazing shortlist together and choosing a very worthy winner, who we're delighted to have with us tonight as well, and we'll be hearing from a bit later. So thank you, Lucy. And
thank you. Thanks very much. It's been brilliant.
And next up, we have somebody who's it's not her first time being shortlisted in this competition. Certainly not a few times, I think. Margaret McCarthy.
Have I done it?
Hi, there you are.
Yeah. Okay, the 5 words were tail, desert, uncover, oval, heart. A small bee came to rest upon my hand. A small bee came to rest upon my hand. I slowed my breath to quieten my heart, a marvel that he chose just there to land. For him a desert, though there was no sand, a dangerous terrain on which to start. A small bee came to rest upon my hand. Weighed down with work, it seemed too weak to stand. its gleaming wings too tired to play their part. A marvel that he chose just there to land. No sting rests in this tale, no reprimand. This tiny, oval, living work of art. A small bee came to rest upon my hand. Trust that weary-hearted understand. Though never closer, we were worlds apart. A marvel that he chose just there to land. No meaning to uncover as time spanned. He took his rest, then readied to depart. A small bee came to rest upon my hand. A marvel that he chose just there to land.
Thank you very much, Margaret. Gorgeous villanelle.
Thank you.
Next up, I believe we have all the way from Kiev in the Ukraine, Ada Wolinska. Are you there, Ada?
Oh yeah, I muted myself.
Hi, Ada. How are you?
Well, that's it. That's the answer. It just sounds seriously difficult to describe. Virus in Bheal, bricks. It was just the second word to describe it together. So, not into and I just want to thank everybody because it's my first anything like this. And when Anna came to discover it was great that I am taught a lot. And I was actually shortlisted twice. First time entry and shortlisted twice. But I'm not sure whether I should read both poems. Maybe.
Yes, of course, because the second is a haiku. So of course, read them both.
Yeah, I just thought that, and they're very different. So I'll go with the luminous rabbit. Oh no, it's called White Moon. And just say 3 words first. It's Woodhouse and Woodman. 4 words that are contained in the poem, but it's just about time. Oh time, thou art as a luminous rabbit, a rectangle reports of you on all sides. A train-like sharking creature, moving alarm-wise, toward-wise, about-wise, enough-wise, complete-wise, absurd-wise, exact-wise, indeed-wise, further away from the 14th century, very-wise. All hail time. Can I hear a little time? Syllables of praise, syllables of praise. Thank you for tuning.
Thank you, Ada. Thank you. Would you like to read the haiku?
Well, if you don't mind.
Of course not. Yeah, it's tiny.
Okay, this time haiku celebrates my summer of drinking some of the best Irish whiskeys and trying to write poems for your marvelous competition. Bronze and variety clouds my head down a shoreline, hard to do. Because for inspiration, you need to work.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ada. So Ada got two poems shortlisted in this year's competition. The only person to do so. Congratulations. I hope you keep writing. I hope we get some more.
Of course, I'll keep writing. No way back now.
Fabulous. Thank you, Ada. Great that you could connect. It must be very late in the Ukraine right now, I'd say.
It's okay. I always say like it's fine. I sometimes go to about 7 a.m. So.
It's poets hours.
Yeah. Nice people.
All right, super. Thank you. Okay. Next up from the shortlist, we have David Evans. David W. Evans. There we are. We need to unmute you there. Let me unmute you.
Good evening.
Hi.
How are we?
Great. How are you?
Yes, pretty peachy, thank you.
Thanks for making it.
Thank you. Do you want me just to read on?
Well, it's up to you, yeah. If you'd like to say something about it, you can, of course, as well.
Well, La Rue de Touettes, so no one exactly knows what it means, but they think it means Little Deaths, the Street of Little Deaths, which has nothing at all with the poem, but it's one where I saw the starlings. So apropos of nothing. There we are. The 5 orbit, delete, dark, and here we go. La Rue de Touettes. Hawthorne in this winter light looks bleak and dark, also forlorn. Sad it could be said, sad or contrite, especially when the wind gusts. When the wind gusts, Hawthorne is a witch, bowing at her foregone trial, broom stowed upright like a faggot for the pyre. These bare and patchy trees separate 2 leas, one of stubble, straws of something shorn late summer. Here troughs of tractor tracks keep rippling ponds of sky. The other field is filled with broken stalks and heads with dirty faces. The gold of the sunflower has long gone, diminished to deep ochre, seeds deleted by little beaks. Momentarily, the trees regain their summer splendor in the colors of the night. Moon-flecked purple, the dust of verdigris, the hawthorn witch conjuring up clothing, foliage out of plumage. Starlings fly through the branches like a surge of new autumn, plucked by gusts to animate a ballet, contort into arabesques, rotate in tight orbits, become a peppery, breathing being, so loose, so solid, deviling a raptor's eye. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, David. Thank you. And well done. Congratulations.
Oh, a real honor. Thank you ever so much.
Did you receive the book, did you?
No, because I managed to get out of Jersey just before the shutdown happened, and now I'm marooned in Sussex, but I'm sure my landlord would have taken good care of them. Thank you.
Wow.
Super. Thank you, David. Okay, our next shortlisted poet from the competition is Rosemary Norman. There we go. Hi, Rosemary.
Hello, hello. See, amazed that anybody can hear me. I trust you can.
I can hear you perfectly.
And now I'm miles. Well, I'm holed up away from home. I haven't got any of my stuff, so I've got to use this computer to find the poem. So I hope it'll work. I'll try. No. Hello, can you still hear me?
I can.
Good. Okay. I'd only just started doing this when I wrote this one, and I seem to have got the idea that you had to use the words as many times as possible with just few other words in. So it's very short. Automaton. No antique woods to sing in, but I simulate green like a bird, not unlike. I find antique green even in woods I simulate, not unlike green antique woods singing, not unlike a bird.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rosemary.
Hello.
And of course, that was a highly commended poem, one of the two, vying for the title, as it were. So very close this time. Hopefully, you'll send some more in.
I can't wait to get them some more. I got addicted to it from October to the finish.
Oh, that's good. Well, I hope your addiction is contagious. Mario. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Rosemary. Okay, we do have another shortlistee in the house in Texas, Janice, but I'm not sure if she is around at the moment. There you are, Janice. Just unmute you there. There we go.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hear you perfectly. Janice, would you like to read your poem?
Sure, why not? Let's see if I can. I don't know if I do this, if it will mute me out. Let me know.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
Okay, all right, as I've got it on this screen. All right, here we go. Oh, and the words were, if I recall, presses, nexus, sober, flint. Is that fine? Okay, presses, nexus, upload. Okay, those were the words. So, okay, this is called Father's Day. The sun presses against the sea where a nexus of babies rides ready to upload. Their eyes sober, gray flint. Colonies of fathers, squealing like gulls, wait on the shore, shaking off feathers for the finest nests.
Thank you very much, Janice.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us all the way from Texas.
Oh yeah, no, thanks for having me. This is, I'm just shocked by everything. And I'm not used to all these video meetings that we're having to participate in now. So I'm nervous on multiple levels, but thank you.
Thank you. And you're very welcome to join one of our, we're going to try this again next month, our usual sessions where we have the open mic, where anyone can read a poem. So in 4 weeks' time, the second Monday of May, second Monday of every month until we get back to normal, we'll be doing the same thing, and you'd be welcome to join us for any of those sessions.
I will, and maybe next year, if I'm lucky enough to get shortlisted again, I'll be able to come to Ireland.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
It would be not a good year for that.
Thank you, Janice.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't think we have any more shortlisted poems here. There are a few that didn't make it. So on to the contributors. Top of the list, we have Rosalind Blue. Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Okay, thanks very much. I'm honored to have 2 pieces in there. I'm going to do one of them, and I'm choosing the one that I thought of. I was at Bheal and a thought about Raven shot across my mind, who was a poet in Dublin, and he died a few days later. So this has become like a commemoration poem almost. And the words were: lean, raven, unbecoming, sausage and freedom. Visit. The raven's feathers shimmer green and blue in the pastel evening light, his lean muscles shining under his deep black coat, his wise eyes fixed on my kitchen window in patient anticipation, his cawing calls different from the familiar folk of crows. Where have you come from on this poetic evening, raven? What magic do you carry? What message do you bring to those of us who listen? I open my kitchen window, leaving the light stream in as you hop closer, cautiously, while I cast out this morning's leftover sausages for you, rather unbecoming to your plume. You know the better way from centuries of survival. You're an old soul, raven, and it looks like you're smiling. Curiously, you inspect my offer, and for a moment you halt, letting me see you in your full beauty, letting me watch you as you watch me, eye to eye. It is your freedom to share your wisdom in this quiet moment with me, and I'm honored to look into your eyes and truly see you before you pick up my offering and fly.
Thank you, Sue. It's a fine elegy for a fantastic man, a wonderful man that quite a few of us knew. I see Billy's in the house there. Hi, Billy. Billy knew Raven quite well as well. We have 2 Kieran Mccartens, and now we're down to 1 again. That's great. I knew there was something odd happening there. All right, super. Thank you, Sue. Next up from the book, and we've only got a couple more listed. I'm sure, you know, we're not going to have any limits tonight. We don't have too many people. We've got 40, nice round 40, so everyone can get to read. But next up, after Sue, we've got Colm Scully. Okay, let me mute you there, Colm. You're still, there you go.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Colm.
Hi. This is from December. It wasn't a winner, but the words were chronic, paperclip, braid, niggling, and deface. Banksy defaced another building today, the church on Pope's Quay. I saw him with brushes and a spray can. He mixed his paint outside Civic Trust House. The seagulls diving pecked at his hat, a wool beanie with bits of knitted bread. He fought them off with swooshes of his brush, niggling his attempts at art. The paint sprayed across the walls of St. Mary's, splashing across the Doric columns as he tried to push them away. Eventually they got the message. What remained behind on the Romanesque facade, a masterpiece of street art. From this chaotic, chronic scene, the face of Jesus looking down across Cork City, a lighted spliff in his hand, a paperclip nose ring, and a serene smile.
Thank you, Colin. All right, super. Okay, we've got next on the list from our contributors list, we have Bernadette Gallagher.
Thanks, Paul. So this one was from the final Bheal of the 2019. It was on the 16th of December, the evening that Frank Ormsby, Chair of Poetry, was with us. The words were flickering, sock, wardrobe, weakness, twilight. And this is the poem. Christmas is here. Barefoot, the sea washes over me to my ankles. I couldn't wait to feel the Atlantic seep into my skin. The light across the bay flickering in the twilight. Every Christmas I give in, a weakness they call it. Travel for hours to this empty house. No sock for Santa, only photos in my parents' wardrobe. Thank you.
Fabulous, thank you. Thank you, Bernadette. Okay, we've got a lot more contributors in the house, but only 3 on the list so far. Would anyone else who's contributed to 5 Words like to read one of their poems? If so, you can just unmute yourself and say so. We'll give you a minute or 2 for that.
Am I on the list?
I'll do one.
If you'd like to, Ben, and who
I'll
else?
also do one.
So we've got Kieran, we've got Ben and Mags, is it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, let's start with, we'll go Ben, Mags, and Kieran, and then Shauna. I think Shauna as well.
Okay, I'm going to read not one of my own ones. I'm going to read one of Patricia Walsh's ones from the book. It hasn't got a title. It's from the 1st of July 2019. I'm sorry I never threw my knickers at you, but some of your songs were so awful they should be under quarantine. Or at best petrifying till the cows come home. The joke of this neighborhood, squeezing out the talent in a corset's glare, revisiting terms and conditions as applied. Do what you have an aptitude for, don't mind me. A chanteuse of sorts will never become you.
Good, Margaret.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
Hope Patricia hears that.
All right, great. And now we have Mags.
Okay, I think I'll just give you this guy. Quixote, coyote. The words were dark, smell, peat, cadence, wire. Goulashes squelched a gloopy cadence, squidged his way through the bog. Sepia water dripped from peaty wedges that he had sliced with his lawn. A scent of earthy perfume lifted with the wind, full of damp bog cotton, banan bui, cuckoo flower. Small birds clung to telephone wires strung across Norwegian tree trunks. His eyes misted over at the thought of the blight on his horizon, the Lena spear, his heirloom. Sheha, Daus and Duchas, running along to Cayman, a perfect brim to the west wind. Soon they'll tilt the windmills, rising giant convoys, section by section in heavy girth. Concord of plant, insert, bisect, my sky. He had a plan, mounted his Honda like Don Quixote, as sticketh the queer stuff for each pocket to warm the cockles of each duck. Ah, that'll soften their cough. Fiery eyes whirled wild within his own windmill of his own mind. Chinua.
Fabulous. Thank you, Mags. Mags, also, if you have a copy of the Five Words book. The PDF link, which I sent to you, I'm going to post it there again for any of you who missed out on that. But Mags is one of two artists who are regular Avail attendees. And
One of those. I think
one of
Jim
those.
is in there. Do you see yourself, Jim?
Yeah, that's it.
Jim with the feathers, Jim on plumage.
Because there are about 5 pages of Mags's drawings in there.
That's my alter ego.
But you see, there's also Eileen's magnificent drawings.
And Eileen Healy has some drawings in there as well. Don't think Eileen managed to make it tonight.
I think I've got Eileen's here. She's got a couple of great portraits.
Fabulous, well done, yeah.
I think she might be with Rab, Paul, tuning in, listening at least.
She might be.
She is an RHA artist. So I'm honoured to be beside her, let me tell you.
So thank you, and thank you, Eileen, if you're listening. Thank you, they're fantastic drawings.
Fantastic.
Okay, so the link is there if you need to take a look at the PDF. And for those of you who are in the book, you've got hard copies waiting for you for whenever it's safe to hand them over. All right, okay, we've got a few more contributors, and then we'll start looking at our 2 guest poets. So next we have Kieran Mccarten.
Yo, how are you? This is, I actually can't remember from when this is from. I think it was last May. And the words were settle, cares, decant, nubile, and orange. And the one that week.
Yeah, that's right. It was from the 20th of May.
20th of May, yeah, sweet. Decent. Decant. No. Decent. Decent as in like fairly sound. No, as in like she's fucking. Is she? Who? What? No, I'm on about the word. No, I mean, I'm on about her. She's decent. Nubile as fuck, do you get me? And more than that, she cares. And her favourite colour is also orange.
Oh.
And she settles me down in moments of chaos.
Fantastic. I remember that.
Where's Kieran?
Nice one.
Did you make it back from Lisbon, Kieran? You did, didn't you? Yeah.
I did. I made it back last Sunday.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so laying low on the Cross Douglas Road now with my mum and dad's.
All right. Nice
Could be worse. Good to see you all.
You too. Thanks, Kieran. Next we have Shauna. No, you're not going to read Shauna. Oh, sorry. I thought you said. Oh, you can't. If I unmute you,
Unmute.
I can't hear you. Let me try and unmute you. Oh, hang on. Here we go.
I hadn't planned on it.
Oh no, you don't have to. No, it's absolutely fine.
Okay. I'll leave somebody else go, but yeah, no, I'm okay.
I mean, if you'd like to, you can. You know, there's plenty of time now and space. So
I'll just okay, sorry.
But no pressure.
Yeah. Okay, I have it here.
All right.
Okay. I don't know what the words were though. I just have it on my phone.
The words were lean, raven, unbecoming, sausage, and freedom.
Cool. August Bank Holiday Weekend, Cork, 1972. May and Ora skipped off the train at Youghal, celebrating their day of freedom from domesticity. On the beach, they ate their packed lunch of sausage sandwiches, hard-boiled eggs, and half an orange each. In the sand, they sat laughing over thermal flask tea and shared a pack of cigarettes they bought down the Boreen. They lit a little fire with what the sea discarded, and around it told stories of mothers and fathers and children. They sang songs of love and pain and putting curlers in your hair. When the air cooled and the blue sky settled to pink, they went in search for chips. Waiting in the salt and vinegar scented queue, they got wind of a dance happening in the town hall. The two ladies loved music and couldn't turn down the chance of a sway. Such crack was had that all time was lost, and before they knew it, it was 11 o'clock. The sky was now raven black, and there was no chance of bus or train. The men they danced with that evening offered to give them a lift, but when the women found their attitude unbecoming, and as Nora put it, one of them asked her to hold his 99, and he didn't have an ice cream. They ran through the list of possibilities. They had spent the last of their money on chips and half pints of Murphy's with Raza. They would have to call someone in the city to come get them, and not everyone on the north side of Cork had a telephone. So they called the only person they knew with one, Nora's employer, the Lord Mayor. What alarm he got at midnight when the woman that cleaned his house called to ask if he'd go up to Grana Braher and wake her husband to drive the yawl and collect the 2 stranded damsels, and that's just what he did.
Thanks, Shauna. I'm glad you read. We have more space for more contributors. If anyone would like to say it now. Jim?
Yeah.
Go for it, man.
This is one of my own ones. The words that night were library, cup, fountain, 5, and bay. And it's about Anna Shvehar. She's also an attendee often. She was pregnant at the time.
Oh God, this one.
And I was living with her, and she was just, it's called morning sickness. For the past 5 months, our bathroom has become a vomitorium. Anna is a Roman fountain trickling a perfect arc of bile. The emperor pulls on her guts like the reins of a golden chariot. We placed ginger biscuits on trays, but the emperor refused. With one wave of infantile fingers, Anna was back in the bathroom, to kneel on the mosaic floor and bow before the ceramic throne. After pushing her hands through seasickness bands, she balances a cup of salt water on her forehead, tricking her body to heal by thinking it's out at sea. After reading an entire library of tips on morning sickness, Anna contests that retail therapy is all that really helps. The light of the bathroom has become a part of her heart. It floats on the water inside the toilet with yesterday's flotsam, drifting around the porcelain bay, her own face rippling back. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Well done.
Okay.
I'll do one for Rab, seeing as he can't speak himself.
Oh, good, Rosie.
So the words were lean, raven, unbecoming, sausage, and freedom. That's untitled. Freedom, squawked the raven as it swooped in, grabbing my lean pastrami sandwich and disappeared over the gable of a nearby building. These types of events were becoming more commonplace. Just yesterday, there were reports about a troop of baboons in Delhi. They would range the city at night, removing batteries, spark plugs, and injectors from all the vehicles they found. Animal militancy was growing. 12 artificial insemination technicians had been kicked to death by unhorny cattle. City cats were congregating outside butchers, pissing and spraying and scratching. For the many, not the few, on doors and windows with diamond-sharp claws. I resolved to become vegan and, realizing that it would be unbecoming of me to eat them, I flushed my clonakilty sausages, pork content 40%, the other 60%, probably vegan, down the toilet.
A good man, Ram. Well done. Big clap. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Good one.
Great. Thank you all. Thanks all for reading. Were there any other contributors to the book that didn't read that would like to? I think we're there. Okay, so. What's that? No.
Wants to read.
Sure, it's the 5-word book, right?
Have you got a book in the 5-word book, Cathal?
I actually thought it was just if you did one of the 5-word ones, so I didn't actually send it in, but I have one off the top of my head. But sure, we can just move on anyway.
Yeah. We'll move on with the proceedings. We'll have to. Thanks. We'll hopefully have you for the open mic if you have someone's phone.
No bother.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay, so we figured out who the winner of today's 5-word challenge was. We had votes for about 15 of you, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.25 of those votes went to Michael Ray. Congratulations.
Does Robert
Michael, who also designed the award and was one of this year's judges. So congrats, Michael. If you'd like to read that, that would be great. Thank you again.
Wow, thank you. Give me a sack of bricks and I'll build you a virus with windows and a door for leaving. Give me a silent shiver and I'll meet you on the first floor beside an unused brick with the word water stamped into its frog. Give me the love of a good world and I'll show you a small pier reaching out into a lake where a shoal of fish are swimming into silver.
Brilliant. Thank you, Michael. You'll get your 2 books in the post.
Well done.
Okay, so we're going to go on to our guest poet guest reading shortly. First will be the winner of the competition, Derek, who I'll introduce to you in just a minute. Just to get a few announcements out of the way. I have given you the link to the PDF. That's great. From this point forward, actually, no, not from this point forward, including the last section in terms of the contributions, we'll post a podcast, an MP3 podcast of that on our website, in our archive, which you can take a look at this link that I've just posted. There's 1,300 MP3s on there from all of our avails, our guest poets and our open mic sessions. So it'll go into those. And if any of you would like not to be included in those podcasts, you can either say no MP3 here and your name, or you can just send me hang on, I actually just sent that to an individual person. I've done this before instead of to everyone. Let me send that again. There we go. The audio archive link. So if you'd like not to be included in that, you can just send me a message. You all should have my message, or you can send it to Avail and just say you'd rather not be included in that MP3. That's absolutely fine. We do still accept donations. We've had one lovely donation already tonight from one of our regulars. So we can't pass around the physical donation jar, but luckily for us, our PayPal account will accept anything above 1 cent up to an infinite amount of money. So if you'd like to pop a penny or two into our PayPal donation jar, we'd be very grateful, which helps us to cover the rent, as it were, pay for our guests and so forth. And if not, no worries. Next month's guest are Katrina Niclerchine and Louis de Puer. It'll be a bilingual event, meaning that just the guest poet section will be read in both Irish and English, but the 5 words and open mic, as usual, will be in whatever language you like to read in. The 5 Words International Poetry Competition, which Derek just won and is going to be reading his poems shortly from, and a couple of other poems. That was the 7th competition. The 8th competition starts tomorrow, and it runs all the way till January. So because you're here now, you're going to get 12, 13, 14-hour head start on the general public. And here are the words: invent, lens, spring, wild, and refrain. Those are the words for the week of the 14th to the 21st of April. And here is the link as well directly to our 5 Words competition page if you'd like to check that out. We've got an increase in prize money for next year's winners, 750, 500, and 250 respectively. And we'll invite those top 3 to come and read at our anniversary event next year. And hopefully we won't have to do it virtually, but if we do, we'll probably be absolute experts at that stage anyway. So either way, that's hopefully how it's going to play out. So once again, thank you to Afric McGlinchey and Michael Ray for their stellar work on the shortlists, and to Michael Ray for the gorgeous award, which you should have all seen. There, Derek has it. Thank you, Derek. Right there. Gorgeous award. There it is as well. Absolutely beautiful piece of work. Thank you, Michael. All right, super. Okay. So next, I'm going to introduce our guest poets. First of all, we'll hear from Derek. Then we'll hear from Partridge, hopefully, who is connected in Vermont. And then after that, we'll have our open mic session for poems from anyone but yourself. And because we've gone so quickly through this evening, we'll be everybody who wants to will be able to say a poem tonight on that session. So not to worry about that. So for now, I'm going to first introduce our guest poet, Derek Sellen, who lives in Canterbury, UK. His writing has won awards, including first prizes in Poets Meets Politics, the Poetry Pulse, Rhyme International. He was the Canterbury Festival Poet of the Year after winning their international competition 2 years ago. He won, of course, the second Bheal 5 Words competition. So he's the first person to win it twice. And he's thrilled and amazed to do so. His work has also won prizes in Poetry on the Lake in Italy, in Bristol International Short Story Award, and the National Poetry Competition. He has written poetry on topics as diverse as Spanish painters, Korean musicians, a Chinese street vendor, and the cave paintings at Ajunta. He enjoys performing his work and has taken part in readings in the UK and abroad, Russia, Slovakia, Germany, Italy, and at Bheal on a number of occasions. And his collection, The Other Guernica, was published by Cultured Llama Publishing in 2018 and has been favorably reviewed in several places. Janet Montefiore says, "This is a work of outstanding richness and variety, imagination, thought, storytelling, full of vivid imagery and the pleasures of language." So please give a warm Bheal welcome to Derek Sellen.
Hello, everybody. Hope you can hear me. Yeah, I've been very, very lucky in this competition. I'm very grateful to everybody and very pleased it's given me the opportunity to come along to Cork several times. I thought I'd celebrate 5 Words by reading some of the poems over the years I've written for 5 Words. The first one I'm going to read is called The Hoplite Shield. I entered this some years ago, and it was a very long, very unwieldy, not very good poem, but I wrote it in a week and I sent it in. I've worked on it since, which is the nice thing about 5 Words, that it gives you poems that you can work on. So this is called The Hoplite Shield. It's a shield of a Greek warrior that's in a museum. And it's in very bad condition, but although it's actually very, very beautiful because it's all corroded. The Hoplite Shield, poplar planks glued in a shallow dome, thicker at the rim to withstand the chopping blow, sheath of unwrinkled bronze, 2 leather loops lined with hide, the armband and the grip. Blue-green corrosion has raddled the surface in a maze of archipelagos, a planet, black oceans and cerulean landmass. Sparta, Argus, long gone empires are mapped here. A citizen warrior carried the weight of it, yielded his identity to the phalanx, shoving for territory while javelins rained. Spectre helmeted, probing with spear at the level of face or groin. If he stood in this museum now, naked as a wrestler on a vase, he'd see his shield and all his weapons, armor, gear, his outer valor and his inner fear, meekly surrendered to time and art and us. And if you can hear a cat in the background, that's Malcolm coming out of his hole. The next one is another museum poem that was highly commended a couple of years ago. It's a dream of my dead grandmother in the Modern Art Museum. And I just imagine how my grandmother would be absolutely distressed by going into a modern art museum. And I wanted to rescue her in this poem. Between the Cézannes and the Braques, I lost her. Somewhere she is straying. Her pre-Raphaelite eyes look at urinals, popes, splatters, drips, drops, stone spirals, woven twigs, slashed canvases, nudes, running, leaping, squatting, cramped, splayed, soiled sheets, newborns in nooses, shit in a can, halved carcasses. I want to rush in and protect her from shock, but the ever vigilant attendants tell me all things are equal to the dead and art will transform her. They show me on a screen her tiny grayscale figure crossing a threshold into hyperrealism and beyond. People around me whisper artists' names, amplified in the marble halls to an onward rushing wind. Has she seen Hans Belmer's dismembered doll yet? Banksy's Queen Victoria in dominatrix gear, installation with disemboweled piano. It's all so far from King Cophetua and the beggar maids. Obedient to gallery regulations, I catch up with her among the wrong Muicks. She's standing on a plinth that's been provided. A plaque is on the wall. Mid-20th century woman with bag. A static teardrop bubbles in her eye. I am not allowed to touch. And next one is The Zombie Maker, which again, 5 Words gave me the opportunity to write the one and only horror poem that I've ever written. The Zombie Maker. A thing grown from a culture in the lab. This creature is a tracery of cells, as flimsy as lace, moving in drifts, gathering itself into airy gowns. It is too late to abort it, as it sheds offspring from its blossoming tendrils. It leaves its first victim behind it, his face in its tail like Magritte's wrapped man. It is drape, it is veil, it is flounce. It is a dress we must wear as it advances, seeping under doors, gliding through vents, cascading down stairs and corridors in noiseless pursuit. We are enfolded in its foam and syrup, our bones hollowed out, our flesh honeycombed, as a bug serrates and perforates a leaf, until we are nothing but a gummy texture, an acid scent. It hardens round us, a carapace, an exoskeleton, a case for new organs formed out of the floss. Senses return as if ears and eyes and pores unseal. We are almost what we were. We have lost, though, any sense of self. We are the creature's raiment, and it wears us as its mask. More Orion, which again wasn't that good a poem when I entered, I don't think. I hope it's a better poem now anyway. It's a lot shorter. Orion. It's about an old man getting up in the middle of the night and looking through the curtains at the constellation. Fires in my arthritic joints, pain in my liver, a dot-to-dot consciousness of myself. I look from the window at 3 a.m. and see you, Orion of the broad chest and narrow waist, buckled with gold, brandishing the great club, planting your feet on the acres of darkness. I know you by your belt, Betelgeuse at your shoulder, regal at your heel. You are a hero who never ages. A fiction, strung on invisible tendons from star to star. I go back to bed as an old man should, at rest until Scorpio chases us both from the sky. And finally, this is, still can't quite believe this year's winner, Betty Fox is Skipping, which at the time the 5 Words came out, I was reading on the internet about Benny and Betty Fox, who were American sky dancers in the 20th century. And they used to perform on perches, spars coming out from skyscrapers. The 5 words just gave me the framework for this poem. Betty Fox is skipping on an 18... Sorry. Betty Fox is skipping on an 18-inch perch, 20 stories above the buzz and dystopia of the street. The rope skims her head, heels skim the rope, toes touch down and rebound. Perhaps she'd rather this than the blindfold waltz or the famous death whirl. Indianapolis to Miami, depression to Cold War, her crowds gasp. She springs high, does mid-sky splits, an angel in an ice blonde wig. The name is leased. Decades of nimble women renew Betty Fox, aerialist. Dapper but grey, Benny debuts the latest. She clamps her thighs on his waist and leans outward into the abyss, closing her blue eyes as if she sleeps. He sees all the Bettys, ghosts of one another, slipping from him as he begins to spin, as he begins to spin. So thank you very much. And I had the company of the cat just there, if you saw me looking down. Okay, thank you everyone, and lovely to see people that I've met in the Long Valley. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek, and congratulations once again. It was a fantastic poem.
Thank you.
All right, super reading. Thank you. Okay, I think we have Partridge with us. Hi, Partridge. How are you doing?
Hello. Doing very well, thank you.
Great,
Good
great.
to be here.
That's fantastic. How are things in Vermont?
Oh, it's a bit muddy. It's trying very hard to be spring, but we're not quite there yet.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we're bursting with summer already, and we can't get out. So I'm not sure which way I'd like it at the moment. Okay, just before I introduce you, Partridge, I just want to tell everyone that after Partridge's reading, we're going to have the open mic session for poetry from other poets other than yourselves. So in the meantime, if you'd like to pop your name in anytime you like into the chat section and just go open mic and your name, then you'll be on the list for the open mic as we'll be having that after Partridge's reading. Okay, I'm going to introduce you now, Partridge, if that's okay. Partridge Boswell is the author of Some Far Country, which won the Grolier Poetry Prize. Recent recipients of the Edna St. Vincent Millay read Wheelbarrow, Gemini, and Lascaux Poetry Prizes. His poems and essays have surfaced in Poetry, the Gettysburg Review, Poetry Ireland Review, Salmagundi, the American Poetry Review, Green Mountains Review, Plume, Prairie Schooner, The Moth, Southward, and Forklift, Ohio, have been anthologized in Roads Taken, Contemporary Vermont Poetry, and Vermont Poets and Their Craft. He's the co-founder of Bookstock Literary Festival. He troubadours widely with the poetry music group Los Lorcas, performing in diverse venues like the Poetry Center San Jose, Massachusetts Poetry Festival, Burlington Book Festival, and numerous others, as well as stages in Ireland and Slovenia. He's the recipient of fellowships from the Tyrone Guthrie Center, the Vermont College of the Fine Arts, the University of New Orleans, and the Vermont Studio Center, and he teaches at Burlington Writers Workshop and the Vermont Poetry Center. So please give a warm Cork welcome, a warm Ovale welcome, I should say, to Partridge Boswell.
Well, good evening, and thank you so much, Paul, for inviting me. And it's wonderful to be among you and to hear your poems. It's very uplifting, as you all well know, to hear others who are doing the same work in the same vein. digging for the same good turf, as Seamus Heaney would say. But it's lovely to be here. I want to congratulate Bheal on the occasion of its anniversary and many more. And again, Paul, thanks for bringing us together and into this community when this event easily could not have happened. Is that right? Yeah, it very easily could not have happened. So
thanks, Partridge.
Thanks for having me. I have two poems for you this evening. The first, it just appeared in Poetry Magazine a couple months ago. It's called Upon Hearing Amy Winehouse at St. James Church in Dingle. Grief without song could be any stone chapel built of loss, packed with aging villagers, lulled reticent as rue by a rote bell's tongue, hemmed by iron gates and a yew tree lurking mirthlessly beside a burial ground where moss-patinaed saints and earth angels gather round relic icons of threadbare hand-me-down faith. You sit, kneel, stand on your misericord, and eaten Job in the organ belly's drone, sorting your parents' hoarded aggregate. Clothes, pawn and charity shops won't take. Sewing kits, boxes of old Polaroids of anonymous sepia people you wouldn't be here without. File drawers of past taxes, uniforms from the war, wedding dress, unworn shoes unfit for a holy soul. And that's just the tip, to say nil of unspeakable sins in attic and basement. Macular shorebirds scan white caps for questions the mind's eye can alight. Dim synapse of a candlelit nave, musty kneelers, a deacon's chair from Suriname. Grief without song is wasted pain. According to patron James, faith in works, in real acts of creation, amplify our part in salvation's soundtrack louder than wafers, wine, or words of mumbled expiation dissolved on penitent tongues. In your rusted anechoic husk, your veins blood thrum a rushing river hymn, an electric fence of nerves ticking in your cerebellum until silence clears its throat. And from her first chthonic tremolo, it comes as no shock how from Galway to Summerhill, churches are being repurposed as concert halls by clergy who swear love's lost call note still lingers, runic under the moored murmur of all those services you sat unmoved through. The supernal flatulence of organ bellows at last revised, in fidelity rare as a black velvet angel with spindly legs and mental hair. Her aqueous blues beguiling as the B-side of prayer, beside an ocean we couldn't hear, but always knew was there. And thanks very much. And my second and final poem, I'm sorry, this is a short set. I was given a time limit, so I try to adhere. But I look forward to joining you all live and in person in the Long Valley one day, and I will give you all a hug and do a much longer set of poems and songs if you'll have me. So till that day, take care, be well, and keep writing poems. We'll get through it.
Amen.
So, how about a little music? This poem is by W.S. Merwin. And it pretty neatly sums up for me, it's kind of how I've been feeling lately, in spite of, well, all the concern and the sort of low-grade angst. There's also a very healthy dose of gratitude. And so I'll play this for you. This poem is called Thanks. Listen. With the night falling, we are saying thank you. We are standing on bridges to bow from the railing. We are running out of the classrooms with our mouths full of food, to look at the sky and say thank you. We stand by the water, thanking it. Standing by the windows, looking out in our directions. We are saying thank you. Back from a series of hospitals, back from a mugging. After funerals, we are saying thank you. After news of the dead, whether or not we knew them, we are saying thank you, thank you. We are saying thank you. Over telephones, we are saying thank you. In doorways and in the backs of cars and in the elevators too. Remembering wars and the police at the door and the beatings on stairs, we are saying thank you. In the banks, we are saying thank you. Faces of the officials and the rich and of all who will never change. We go on saying thank you, thank you. We go on saying thank you. To the animals dying around us, taking our feelings, we are saying thank you. With the forest falling faster than the minutes of our lives, we are saying thank you, thank you. We are saying thank you. With our words going out like cells of a brain, with the cities growing over us, we are saying thank you, faster and faster with nobody listening. We are saying thank you. We are saying and waving, dark though it is, dark though it is. Saying thank you. We're standing on bridges to bow from the railings. We're running out of the classrooms with a mouth full of food. To look at the sky and say thank you.
Yay! Yeah, jazz hands.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you, Partridge.
Well done. That was incredible.
That was fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was great and lovely to have a bit of music as well. Yeah. Okay, I've unmuted people now, so there might be a bit of noise, craziness. That was fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah, well done.
Great, lovely to have a bit of music as well.
So weird.
Right, that's the noise.
Okay, I've unmuted people now, so there might be a bit of noise.
Your sound is very poor there, Paul.
It is, I know. I'm muting you all now again, I'm afraid. I've just had to mute you all again there now because my own sound is coming back to me sort of 10 seconds later from you know, I guess maybe Vermont or Ukraine or wherever. But that was an absolutely brilliant session. Thank you, Partridge. We're delighted with that. I've got loads of names that have come on for the open mic, and we'll be able to put everyone on. I'm sure there won't be a problem with that. Remember, it's poetry by other people's, by other poets, I should say. So I hope you have one in mind. We've got a huge list actually so far, which is brilliant, which I'm thrilled about. We're going to be here for a while. And Mags, Rab has left a comment there asking you to grab your guitar. I'm not sure if you saw that. Okay, just want to make sure that I'm not missing anyone. Sure, we won't miss anyone anyway. If I do miss someone, we'll be able to get you later on. All right, so we're going to kick off this open mic, lovely open mic session now with a poem read by Cédric Bicond.
Fernand Aubergenois. The title is Versoir, which is a wordplay between, basically, you can translate it as verses to oneself. Then again, you can also understand it as silkworm. And the poem itself is titled Garden Variety. Garden Variety. Poets, like onions, should not be sliced, but peeled. Poets and onions come in layers, and layers and layers of soft skin. Poet skin and onion skin need gentle handling. Onions and poets cause tears to flow. Onions more than poets, but poets longer than onions. Poets and onions fear the knife, but peeling is all right if you must absolutely look inside.
Thank you, Cédric. Who was that by again?
Fernand Aubergenois.
Okay.
He's has passed already, but his wife, I suppose she here among us, is living somewhere around Enniskillen.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Margaret O'Regan.
I found this on Facebook of all places. It's by Fred Johnston, and I was taken with it because it's quite sensual and I like those kind of poems. Also, I'm the same age as Fred, so he calls it love haiku, but it's actually a combination of 3 haikus. Swans for us to feed, grass lip of the public lake, leaf fall in your hair, warm breeze in your skirt, the shape of you showing through, the weight of pure light. Other men glance or stare, none can know the silken heat my lips will soon taste. Fred Johnston.
Thank you, Margaret. And Fred, in his absence. Next up to the open mic is Jim Crickard.
Hi guys. So I'm gonna do a poem by a poet I really admire. His name is Philip Spillane.
Go Philip.
Go
on, Jim. Go on, Jim.
He's written this poem called The Server Hermit, and ever since I first heard it, I've been obsessed with it. It's like technology and spirituality put together, because he works in IT and he's a bit, you know, spiritual as well. So only Phil could have written this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The Server Hermit. Servers through their services like big boxy bits of Buddhas locked in iron cages, their green eyes winking at me as I pass by. I shift through the shuttle where the air conditioners prolong this heat wave with this exhausting ice age. At the back lays a midnight black Dell Optiplex 360 with its dark braille door ajar. In there, its motherboard tingled electric emerald like Mother Earth. A boarded circuit garden, pagoda chipsets, extensions and RAMs, snowed under by flakes of dust. I clip in the USBs and screw in the lilac VGA. I shove a power cable up its backside. Fan exhales. Finally, I press its bindi and ignite its whole nature. Like a beast awakened from suspended meditation. The monitor blinks and displays its GUIs like psychedelic flowers at dawn. Tum tee tee tum tum tum. The Windows XP chimes. It tells me things it's doing and done in a passive mannerism. My fateful familiar, I subside in the hum of the server forest, kept away from the windy variable outside, where the elements can invade. Suddenly, the power supply coughs. The computer blinks out, and so do I. Thank you, that's Phil's poem.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Phil.
Oh, Phil, kid.
Fabulous.
What a poem.
Yeah, super poem. Okay. Thank you. Next up, we have Amy. Amy Gurlett.
That's right.
How are you, Amy?
Thank you. I'm going to read a poem of Washan Shire, or Shire. She's a British poet born to parents from Somalia. So she knows story about being a refugee. And the reason why I read this poem is because at times like this, it seems to be quite important to have an understanding of what a home is and to remember people that don't have a home. Refugee by Washan Shire. You have to understand that no one puts their children in a boat unless the water is safer than the land. No one burns their palms under trains, beneath carriages. No one spends days and nights in the stomach of a truck, feeding on newspaper, unless the miles traveled means something more than the journey. No one crawls under fences. No one wants to be beaten, pitied. No one chooses refugee camps or strip searches where your body is left aching, or prison, because prison is safer than a city of fire, and one prison guard in the night is better than a truckload of men that look like your father. No one could take it, no one could stomach it, No one's skin would be tough enough. The go home blacks, refugees, dirty immigrants, asylum seekers, sucking our country dry, niggers with their hands out, they smell strange, savage, messed up their country, now they want to mess up ours. How do the words, the dirty looks roll off your backs? Maybe because the blow is softer than a limb torn off. Or the words are more tender than 14 men between your legs. Or the insults are easier to swallow than rubble, than bone, than your child's body in pieces. I want to go home, but home is the mouth of a shark. Home is the barrel of a gun, and no one would leave home unless home chased you to the shore, unless home told you to quicken your legs, leave your clothes behind, crawl through the desert, wade through the oceans, drown, save, be hunger, beg, forget pride. Your survival is more important. No one leaves home until home is a sweaty voice in your ear saying, leave, run away from me now. I don't know what I've become, but I know that anywhere is safer than here. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. It's a very powerful poem by a brilliant poet, Whartonshire. Super well read, very well read as well. Thank you. Next up to the open mic, we have Benjamin Burns.
Hello. So I'm going to read one. I got given Tim Key's poetical playing cards for my birthday, and I'm going to read The Queen of Diamonds. I'll start again. I put on a shit ton of water-resistant suntan lotion, so then I couldn't go in the sea. I kept on bouncing off it and landing on my fat ass. I had one last go and ended up spread-eagled on the top of the bloody thing, rubbing my knuckles on the surface. Thank you.
Excellent, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks.
And next up, we have Sue Blue.
Thank you. Okay, I've chosen to present. I've been busy translating in this lockdown, translating classics, German classics that my grandmother used to recite at the age of 75 in our kitchen. So yeah, I've finished one here by Rainer Maria Rilke, and I'm going to do his first and then mine. It's a very famous poem and has been translated hundreds of times. Der Panther. Sein Blick ist vom Vorübergehen der Stäbe so müd geworden, dass nichts mehr hält. Ihm ist, als ob es 1000 Stäbe gäbe und hinter 1000 Stäben keine Welt. Der weiche Gang geschmeidig starker Schritte, der sich im allerkleinsten Kreise dreht, ist wie ein Tanz von Kraft um eine Mitte, in der betäubt ein großer Wille steht. Nur manchmal schiebt der Vorhang der Pupille sich lautlos auf. Dann geht ein Bild hinein, geht durch der Glieder angespannte Stille und hört im Herzen auf zu sein. The Panther. His gaze from the... Okay, sorry, I'll start again. The Panther. His gaze has from the passing by of bars become so numb that it holds nothing more. He feels as if there were 1,000 bars, and beyond those 1,000 bars no world. The sinuous gait of strong and supple strides that turns the tightest, ever smallest round is like a dance of strength around a centre in which benumbed a greater will is bound. Just sometimes, quietly, his pupil's veil slides open, then a view can enter, goes through the flexing silence of his limbs, and seizes deep inside his heart to be. Thank you very much.
Super. Lovely. Thank you, Sue. Great choice.
Thanks. Thanks.
Did Rilke write a lot in German, I wonder? I mean, did he write a lot in French as well?
Do you know, I am actually not sure. I haven't researched. I'm literally just only doing the translations of those poems that come to mind. I could do some more research for the next time I do the poem on the microphone, and then I can tell you more about it. It'll probably be published online very soon. I sent it to someone who collects translations of the Panther, and he loved it, so he's going to add it.
Lovely. Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks for that. Okay, next up we have Catherine Ronan.
Oh. Hi.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can't see you, but you know, I'm still here.
Yeah, great.
Stolen Child by W.B. It's my
W.B.
favorite poem. Yeah. Where dips the rocky highland of Stoothwood in the lake, there lies a leafy island where flapping hands pick the drowsy waterways. There we've hid our fairy vats, full of berries and of reddest stolen cherries. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with the fairy hand in hand. But the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. With the wave of moonlight glosses, dim grey sands with light, were off by farthest rosses. We footed all the night, weaving olden dances, mingling hands and mingling glances, till the moon has taken flight. To and fro we leap and chase the frothy bubbles, while the world is full of troubles and anxious winds sleep. Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with the fairy hand in hand. For the world's more full of weeping than you can understand. Where the wandering water gushes from the hills above Glencar, in pools among the rushes that scarce could bathe the star. We speak for slumbering trout and whisper in their ear. Give them unquiet dreams, dream softly. From ferns that drop there. Over the young streams, come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with the hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than we can understand. Away thus he's going, the solemn-eyed, he'll hear no more than blowing of calves on the warm hillside, or the kettle on the hob, in peace on Jesus Christ, or see the brown light bob round and around the open chest, where he comes, the human child, to the waters and the wild, with the fairy hand in hand, from a world more full of weeping than we can understand.
Thank you, Catherine. Afraid you were coming in and out there, but it's a brilliant poem. I think a lot of us have the words in our heads actually, and the rhythm is just beautiful poem, a gorgeous one. So thank you for reading that. Next up to the mic we have Stan Knott.
Am I on?
Yep, you are.
Cool. Okay, so I was given a book for Christmas. I'm sure you're aware of it, Paul, The Poetry Pharmacy, William Seacart. Is that how you pronounce the name?
I actually don't know it, Stan.
Okay, so he does these workshops where he prescribes poems for different ailments, a whole series of ailments. Okay. Yeah. So there's all. I had loads of choices. This one actually in the book is a poem he prescribes for self-recrimination, but that's not why I'm reading it. I'm reading it because I think it's kind of apt with what's, the current scenario we're in. I don't know about anybody else. I'd imagine it is true for lots of you guys, and the same for me. I've spent a lot of time writing and creating in this lockdown. It's just, great for the mind and passing time. And this is what this one really talks to me about. It's Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for a
Oh, that's very good.
Is there feedback there?
Yeah, I've just muted it. Don't worry, Stan. Go for it. Sorry, start again there.
Thanks. Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, and announcing your place in the family of things.
Thank you, Stan. Fabulous poem by Mary Oliver. Probably her most famous poem, I think.
I would think,
it is, yeah. Gorgeous piece. Okay, next up we have our current 5-word winner, 5-word champion, Michael Ray.
Hi, so this poem is by Mark Waldron, and it's called You Know When You Drop. You know when you drop something, a bottle or a vase perhaps, and when it first contacts the ground, it does so in such a state of shock that it pauses there stunned, just for a fraction of a moment, before it comes to and expeditiously collects itself, summons, despite its near panic, a sense of obligation, recalls just what's expected of it before it tenses its body, scrunches up its eyes, fabricates from nothing an explicit pop and a mass escape from the suffocating incarceration of existence. A breakout that dashes obediently to its slot, that being the ordained scatter pattern of pieces and bits, where it rests, then, in an array of elfin smiles that seem to celebrate relief, to relish languidly what they, for this moment, take to be their liberty, and to smoke thin cigarettes with their small feet up in front of TVs showing film of countryside in spring, the next cell door having not yet swung entirely shut.
Thank you, Michael. I haven't come across Mark Waldron before, but I'll be looking out for him again. Thank you. Okay, next up, we're going to hear from Rosie O'Regan.
Yep. It's really great to see everybody here. So I'm going to share a poem by this lady, Moira Donaldson. So she was the guest at the last Bheal, and this poem that made me buy the book. So I hope you like it too. Black Dream Bird. It was yesterday that I was a crow, with horsehair in my beak and my nest half built, and my black feathers shining through the early mist of belonging to the world, of knowing how to balance on the air of the world, and my shadow the same color as myself. Even when the farmer tied my body lifeless to the wire in warning, and my bones poked out, still I flapped in the wind and raised my wings, my beak hinged open to the call of the air.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you, Maura Donaldson. Yeah, fabulous poet who was here with us last month at our last actual event. Virtual is also actual, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our second last actual event. Okay, next up on the list we have Michelle.
Hello.
Yeah. No?
Yeah.
We do. Michelle Delay. Hi, Michelle.
Hello. I'm really tempted to. Oh, never mind. So I'm going to read a poem by Paula Bowens that I heard her read it a few months ago in Cork. She's a Pennsylvanian poet, and the poem's called "Among Barmaids." There was a metal door that took both hands of a strong man to open, but we did it daily. Inside were our charges, sealed in submarine darkness. We swam through their booze, past the pool table's alien head, darts that thwacked the pricked wall like failure itself, spinning like down ducks to the filthy tile. Like good dogs, we fetched them. In the windowless silence, we watched our drunks bend like sycamores in an all-day snowstorm. When they slept, we let them. We shook them with the tenderness of mothers. They woke and smoked, still dreaming, wore their trade on their fingers, coal or dirt or grease. On the jukebox, 5 songs repeated, each a lament about cheating women. We hummed along, bore the plodding joke, slurred compliment, nodded at creased photographs of estranged children. The beer rose in gushes, our forearms bulged. One girl, what she wanted before she died was to see the ocean. Froth pillowed up from the subterranean barrels through pipes and pulleys. We wore our pity. Watched men stroke the bar like the hardened brush hair of a daughter. We wore ours in our scarves. Our hooped earrings swayed on the downbeat. We held rags or tucked them in jeans, tattooed the names of ex-husbands, first lovers into our skin in script so thick and Bible elaborate as to be illegible. One wore her drugged out son's childhood face on her wrist, his doomed grin following us. Men brought their kids when the wives needed peace. We gave them cokes and bowls of cherries, let them draw on napkins and pinned up the drawings. Sometimes we spun them on the make-believe dance floor, trying to turn despair into a party. Thanks, that was a poem by Paula Bowens.
Paula Bowens, brilliant. Thank you. Super poem. Thanks, Michelle. Okay, next up we have Bernadette Gallagher. You there, Bernadette?
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to read a poem by Joe Burns. Joe was going to have read at Bheal in March, but wasn't able to come. And this is Jacqueline at Pablo's deathbed. Put your hand in mine right now. Yesterday is a fable already told. Tomorrow, a city built in our heads. No lamps illuminating the way. We may shrink in the eyes of each other, but in this moment we're huge, we're bold. Let's not think now of conservation, planning coup d'etat of sense and logic, or each day anticipate the foretold. Here, we're giants, we're able, we breathe. Put your hand in mine for a moment, Pablo. Yesterday's a fable. We're growing old. Thanks.
Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you. Okay, and next we have Kieran Mccarten. I'll unmute you there. There we go.
How are you?
This is yeah, John Prine died last week, and he was a big influence on my imagination growing up and stuff. So it was a sad day in the house when John Prine died. So I'm gonna say out the words to Angel from Montgomery for John Prine. I am an old woman named after my mother. My old man was another child who's grown old. If dreams were lightning, thunder were desire, this old house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel, eyes from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. There wasn't much to look at, just a free random man. But that was a long time, and no matter how I tried, the years just flow by like a broken down band. Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. There's flies in the kitchen, I can hear them, they're buzzing, and I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. How the hell can a person go to work in the morning and come home in the evening and have nothing to say? Make me an angel, flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to believe in this living is just a hard way to go. To believe in this living is just a hard way to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Kieran. Thank you for that. Okay, and next up we have from the Ukraine again, Ada Volinska or Ada Miles. Is there Ada?
I'm muting myself. Oh, forget me. Yeah, I think I like things brief and things very responsive, but they have sort of a beautiful. And I was reading a book on translate, and it was a guide I had. I was translating job, and I didn't know how to do it properly, or rather how to edit it properly after I've done it. So I was reading a book, and there were lots of guides of lots of examples of poems and how to translate them, and it's not even a full poem. And while we were here, I was trying to find it in full, but I didn't. This poem is by this snippet poem, which I had a chance to read and it rolls in my mind, is by Ogden Nash. I hope I pronounced the name correctly.
Yeah,
and his marvelous with his humor and the unfolding of sound and comic effects. And this snippet is very short, and it's very about the coronavirus, I think. This sense means understand a bit low range. I'd wear a green, even inside an orange. And it's, there was the word orange before our show, if we can call it. And I think it sort of connects to the start. And well, I think believing in yourself in an orange is a cheerful picture. Then that's it. So that's it.
Thank you, Ada. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Afric McGlinchey.
I'm going to read a poem by Anna Akhmatova. It's from a section called Secrets of the Craft, and this particular poem is called Creation. And it's kind of, I suppose, in conversation with the one that Stan read. I've actually been really struggling to write, so this kind of is a bit of inspiration for me. So, creation. It happens like this, a kind of languor, a ceaseless striking of a clock is heard, far off a dying peal of thunder. I somehow sense the groaning and the sorrows of unrecognized, imprisoned voices. A kind of secret circle narrows. But in the abyss of whispers and ringing rises one triumphant sound. Such an absolute silence surrounds it that one can hear the grass growing in the woods. How misfortune with a knapsack plods the earth. But now words are beginning to be heard, and the signaling chimes of light rhymes. Then I begin to comprehend, and the simply dictated lines lie down in place on the snow-white page. That's it.
Thank you, Afric. Thank you. Okay, we only have a couple left on the open mic. No, hang on, there we have Philip as well. Great, so we've got three left on the open mic. If there's anyone else who'd like to pop on there, you're more than welcome to, who hasn't read yet. There's Mary. Okay, I'm going to put Mary on the open mic. Huh? She should have been there already. I know. That's my.
I
Hi,
think
Mary.
Rob might have won on the text there, Paul, as well.
Yeah, I've got Rev down as well for the text. Thank you, Bernadette. Super. So we've still got some time if you'd like to pop your name in to read someone else's poem. Mary, are you ready to go? Would you like to read yours?
Okay.
All right, so Mary O'Connell.
This is called Porridge by Eileen Sheehan.
Hey.
I've had enough of this business of living, and there is only one cure for that. And besides, the breakfasts are so boring in this place that I have decided to die on Tuesday next. Porridge again this morning. I had hoped for a change. Inform who you will of my intention. Yesterday, I requested eggs Benedict, lightly poached with asparagus tips, al dente, of course, on a bed of wilted spinach, all enhanced by a smooth hollandaise sauce. They gave me porridge again. My affairs are in order. You will find all the relevant documentation in that top drawer. On Wednesday last, I had a fancy for French toast and requested same. They cajoled me like I was a naughty child of 4 who had never sailed in a yacht or holidayed on the Riviera, and they gave me porridge. I would like to see those faces when my will is read. I always did like surprises. Friday, quite by accident, of course, I spilt that porridge all down the bed. Who knew it would be so sticky and difficult to clean? I did feel so sorry, but that nephew who never comes to see me will not be getting the inheritance he is expecting. Such a pity, really. Saturday, I closed my eyes and pretended the porridge was smoked wild salmon on brown bread. I achieved some moderate success, but porridge does so little for the imaginative mind. Sunday, I was relentless, demanded caviar with wafer-thin crackers and a dainty silver spoon with which to eat it. I need not have bothered. Porridge again, but in a plastic bowl. It made me think how my fine house will be an excellent shelter for the homeless. I rather fancy my being remembered as a philanthropist by my extended family. They'll be astounded at my largesse. This morning, I thought to outsmart them. I ordered oatmeal with sliced French peaches, blueberries, crushed almonds, and a swirl of cream. I got porridge in a chipped bowl. This contributed greatly to my decision to die on Tuesday. See if I won't. I have always achieved whatever I set out to do. Dying will be no different. I will simply lie down and not get up. Please do inform the person who passes as your chef that Madame will not be requiring breakfast on that morning. She will.
Thank you, Mary. I've actually just been informed by Rosie that we might be feeding back audio. I've muted everyone except myself. So I might have been feeding back audio the whole time. So hopefully by muting out now during the readings, this is a work in progress, obviously. But thanks for that. Hopefully this will improve the sound. So let's now please call on Philip Spillane to read. Thank you. Philip.
Thank you for, can you all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, it's fantastic, this gathering of wonderful, it's great seeing all of you. I can't tell you how much it's great seeing you all safe and sound during these strange days. So I'm going to read a poem right back at Crickard, the only poet I know from Venus. Wonderful friend and a great, talented individual. So this one is called, it's good to give an explanation. In ancient Egypt, if a cat passed away, the civilization used to do a whole ritual of shaving off their eyebrows. Very interesting. And conveniently, this is called Pet Cemetery by Crickard. Like the Egyptians, I shave off my eyebrows and bow down to mourn the body of my dead cat. Beneath the night sky, diffused by her helix eyes, I cradle her body and walk the street. Tears running down my face, smooth as cement, featureless. Flattened to an oval, I bellow. A crowd of people are celebrating the Rose of Tralee, still weeping, still cradling my dead cat, I joined them. We watched fireworks scratch across the midnight blast. Perhaps she is clawing at the cat flap to the underworld. When thunder breaks, she's knocking plates in heaven. Thanks for listening and take care, everyone.
Thank you, Philip. And thank you, Jim. And next up, we'll call on Simon Spitchak. Simon?
Hey, everyone. It's great to just listen in on poetry. I've really missed this. So I'll be reading from something written by Ray Bradbury. He's one of my favorite writers, and he likes to write about space, and I love space. So this one's called If Only We Had Taller Been. The fence we walked between the years did balance us serene. It was a place half in the sky where, in the green of leaf and promising of peach, we'd reach our hands to touch and almost touch the sky. If we could reach and touch, we said, 'twould teach us not to, never to, be dead. We ached and almost touched that stuff. Our reach was never quite enough. If we had taller been and touched God's cuff, his hem, we would not have to go with them who've gone before, who short as us, stood tall as they could stand, and hoped by stretching tall that they might keep their land, their home, their hearth, their flesh and soul. But they, like us, were standing in a hole. Oh, Thomas, will a race one day stand really tall, across the void, across the universe and all, and measured out with rocket fire, at last put Adam's finger forth, as on the Sistine ceiling, and God's hand come down the other way, to measure man, and find him good, and gift him with forever's day. I work for that, short man, large dream. I send my rockets forth between my ears, hoping an inch of good is worth a pound of years, aching to hear a voice cry back along the universal mall. We've reached Alpha Centauri. We're tall. Oh God, we're tall. Thanks.
Thank you, Simon. Okay, we just got a few more now. A few more. I know I said a few more about half an hour ago, but we've definitely got a few more now, unless a few more sign up. So our third last reader tonight is Cathal Holden.
Hey guys, how are you? So this one is by, I think, my favorite poet of all time, Saul Williams, Talk to Strangers. Now I wasn't raised at gunpoint, and I've read too many books to distract me from the mirror when I'm happy with my looks. And I ain't got proper diction for the makings of a thug. Though I grew up in the ghetto, my niggas all sold drugs. Though that may validate me for a spot on MTV, or get me all the airplay that my bank account would need. I was hoping to invest in a lesson that I learned. I thought this fool would jump me just because it was my turn. I went to an open space because I knew he wouldn't do it. If somebody there could see him, or somebody else might prove it. I know that in your eyes it might seem I got punked out because I walked a narrow path and I went and changed my route. That openness exposed me to a truth I couldn't find. The clenched fists of my ego, or the confines of my mind, or the hipness of my swagger, or the swagger of my step, or the scowl of my grimace, or the meanness of my rep, because we represent a truth, son, that changes by the hour. When you open to it, vulnerability is power. In that shifting form, you'll find a truth that doesn't change. That truth is living proof of the fact that God is strange. So talk to strangers. When family fails and friends lead you astray. When Buddha laughs and Jesus weeps, it turns out God is gay. Because angels and messiahs, love can come in many forms. In the hallways of your projects, or the fat girl in your dorm. And when you finally take the time to see what they're about, perhaps you find them lonely, or their wisdom trips you out. Maybe you'll find the cycle's end, you're back where you began. But come this time around, you'll have someone to hold your hand, who prays for you, who's there for you, who sends you love and light, exposes you to parts of you that you once tried to fight. You'll choose to walk a different path and cry at what you laughed. You'll embrace what you turned away and make a different path. I flubbed it. Because that's the only way we're going to make it through this storm, where ignorance is common sense and senselessness the norm, and flags wave high above the truth and the two never touch, and stolen goods are overpriced and freedom costs too much, and no one seems to recognize the symbols come to life, the bitten apple on the screen, and Jesus had a wife, and she was his Messiah, like that stranger maybe yours, who holds a subtle knife that carves through worlds like magic doors. And that's what I've been looking for. The bridge from then to now was watching BET like, what the fuck, son, this is foul. That square box don't represent the sphere that we live in. The earth is not a flat screen, I ain't trying to fit in. This here ain't for the underground, this here is for the sun. A seed a stranger gave to me and planted on my tongue. When I look at you, I know I'm not the only one. As a great man once said, there is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come.
Fabulous. Thank you, Cathal. That's a great poem. Super poem.
It's a beautiful one.
Yeah, we should try and get Saul Williams out here because he's a phenomenal poet. Absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. Our penultimate reader now is someone who's just made a fantastic video. Some of you are in the video, and we posted that today. Mary Nagel. Mary's going to read an extract that Rab has posted from the Tao, which he wanted to read, but he's listening. I can see user Rab down there, as you all can. So I think hopefully he appreciates Mary Nagel reading it. So I'm sure he will. And there's a link there under that chat post I've just made to the video that Mary made. It was absolutely brilliant, and we're getting great feedback on that. Thank you, Mary, for that gorgeous piece of work. And please, after you. The mic is yours.
It's lovely to see everyone, and hi, user Rab. So this is from the Tao Te Ching 44. Which is dearer, fame or self? Which is worth more, man or pelf? Which would hurt more, gain or loss? The mean man pays the highest price. The hoarder takes the greatest loss. A man content is never shamed, and self-restrained is not in danger. He will live forever. That's Rab's.
Thank you, Mary. Fabulous. Thank you. Okay, we have, oh, look who's on the open mic, another one. Okay, so, yeah, that's right. I know, we've got two more on the open mic now. We're going to call up now Denise, aka Mo O'Connor. Let me just unmute you there, Mo.
Okay.
There you go. You got it.
How you doing there? Can you hear me okay?
Can indeed. How are you?
Okay. So I'm going to read, seeing as we have Easter Monday, I'm going to read the famous one by Yeats, Easter 1916. And a long time since I read this poem, so I hope I'll do it justice. I have met them at the close of day, coming with vivid faces from counter or desk among grey 18th century houses. I have passed them with a nod of the head or polite meaningless words. I have lingered a while and said polite meaningless words, and thought before I had done of a mocking tale or jibe to please a companion round the fire at the club, being certain that they and I would live where motley is worn, all changed, utterly changed, a terrible beauty is born. That woman's days were spent in ignorant goodwill, her nights in argument, until her voice grew shrill. What voice more sweet than hers, when young and beautiful she wrote to harriers? This man had kept a school and rode our winged horse. This other, his helper and friend, was coming to his force. He might have won fame in the end, so sensitive his nature seemed, so daring and sweet his thought. This other man I had dreamed, a drunk, vainglorious lout. He had done most bitter wrong to some who were near my heart, yet I number him in the song. He too has resigned his part to the casual comedy. He too has been changed in his turn, transformed utterly. A terrible beauty is born. Hearts with one purpose alone, through summer and winter seem enchanted to a stone, till trouble the living stream. The heart that comes from the road, the rider, the birds that range from cloud to tumbling cloud, minute by minute they change. A shadow of cloud on the stream changes minute by minute. A half hoose slides on the brim, and a horse splashes within it. The long-legged moorhens dive, and the hens to moorcocks call. Minute by minute they live, the stone in the midst of all. Too long a sacrifice can make a stone of the heart. Our wind may it suffice, that is heaven's part, our part. To murmur name upon name, as a mother names her child, when sleep at last has come on limbs that have run wild. What is it but nightfall? No, no, not night but death. Was it needless death after all? For England may have kept faith for all that is done and said. We know their dream enough to know they dreamed and are dead. And what if excess of love bewildered them till they died? I write it out in a verse, MacDonough and MacBride, and Connolly and Pierce, now and in time to be, wherever green is worn, are changed utterly, a terrible beauty is born.
Immortal poem, immortal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Okay, we only have one reader left, unless there's someone else who wants to pop on at the very last minute. I don't think so, not yet. Nope. Okay, so Mags, it's all yours.
And I think I got 2 messages, and I suppose seeing as Rab said to sing something, I'll sing something then. This is a simple, short poem, and it's so powerful in simplicity. And it's a poem informed, I know it's a very well informed poem, and it's by Rosie, and it's called Eggshell. I drink a pint of darkness. Think if I had to choose, I would sooner go deaf than blind. Silence at least offers some solace. You can still hear your own thoughts, the memory of music. Lip read. Darkness, not so much. You have to reach around the unknowing. Touch your only way forward, like a chick who breaks from its egg to find itself in a bigger egg, on an endless path of shell, its yellow beak, a sharp sun piercing the dark. So the words were beak, deaf, point, yellow, and reach. Nice and Rosie. So that's that. And I actually, okay, I got a message all right from Rab to do something, so I can only think. Do you want to follow in with anything there, Mo? Do you want to know? Should you get there? I can only think.
Yes, but unfortunately, music does not transfer through Zoom. I've tried that already with some friends, and if I play along with you, it will just be mumbo jumbo. Music transfers very badly on Zoom.
We used to very good Zoom on songwriters, and every one of us heard each other very well. Okay, I'll do the bossa nova because it's a fast little one and it's an Bheal song. And this is a short little song about talking to a friend. This is the English translation for anyone who's not Irish. And don't be sad, don't be lonely, just fall in with me, sing a few songs and do a little bit of jazz with me. And basically sometimes it's hard to listen. It's lonely being on your own, listen to the hard conversation in your head. Just rise up again with a young heart and cock your head back and just throw your cares to the west wind. That's a basic synopsis. So I will try to do this for the person who messaged me, which wasn't actually Mo. You hear me? Okay. Cara nabi burha, nabi brona kanaran, vi kamalamsa, ineluna halium, vi tu emas muinta, ligantar mokri, kalan naim shekhatas, fishel kauki. Shankyola Risha Kaila, then Hakta Dam Snakyo, be a Kamalonsa, Don Nuhanamo, Don Nuaran Kandimo. Urantha Suigna. Viner in sundown, ik geest de klesjen koran, krue de jam. Jesus a rish la kriok, kada laskan gaedir, ardig de hula, rodok is bifir. Wassa nova Celtica, Kyokan shine lebers and shell, Ikrinka in Saniha, Leshan blue and wet and long. Wassa nova Celtica, Kyokan shine lebers and shell, Ikrinka in Saniha, Leshan drill and wet and long. Leshen drift and wet and nacht. Horen thuis hoe ik nou, van einer in sundown. Ik geest de klesjen koran, kroei de jam. Jesus a risha krio, kada asken lai Anniv. Ardig de hula, roll up his beefy. Wassa nova Celtica, Kyokan shine lebers and shell, Ikrinka in Saniha, Leshan drill and wet and lost. Wassa nova Celtica, Kyokan shine lebers and shell, the green guy and sunny Leshen drill and wet and lost. Leshen drill and wet and lost. Do 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 da da. Very hard to play the guitar here for the ministers. And look to Rab, you had a hard year, and also for old Charles, got a bit of bass in there, and he's only over half. And they're two great old stalwarts, and we sent all our love out to them.
That was great, Meg. Fantastic. Brilliant.
No, they wouldn't mind if you gave them no rock on there, no, to round
But
it
wouldn't.
I'm bold. I'm big and bold enough to sing now, and I have no note.
No, that was lovely.
Peter Hart, and that's an O'Vale song written in the Loon O'Vale as usual. I have O'Vale. I played two songs out of the downstairs barman. Which welcome to be down there at all, but I say I've only say yeah.
Thank you, Mags. It was brilliant. I've unmuted everyone there for the last few minutes so we can go crazy with the sounds because there's no mains to go to. I feel like going down to mains right now and just breaking the door down and finding myself. Don't worry.
I think this is mains now.
This is mains, yeah. You can stay here for 2 hours.
My kitchen is main.
Turn on loud music.
Live on.
I want to say thank you to Derek Sellen and to Partridge Boswell.
Thank you.
Our two guest poets.
Thank you.
Thank you both for attending and for reading and for your fabulous poetry.
Thank you.
Also to Ada Valinska, all the way from Ukraine. Thank you, Ada, for coming and joining. And to all of you, this seems to have been a success.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Well done.
Yeah.
So let's do this again next month. This time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul.
And Rosie,
Thank
before next month, Paul.
Thanks, everyone.
The second Monday. Yeah, next month. The second Monday.
Paul,
Yeah.
can Rosie teach us that dance she's doing behind you before next month so that we can all do it?
You do what?
What?
Can you teach us that little dance you were just doing
I
there?
was just copying Shauna.
Shauna doing it. What can you teach us?
There you go.
All right, I'm going to say good night. Talk to you all soon. Great to catch up.
Take care.
For coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Bye, everybody.
Right. Everyone, keep in touch.
Bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye.
Good
night, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you all. That was
Next
wonderful.
month.
Yeah, see you next month.
We'll be here next month. Absolutely. Good to see you, Anne-Marie.
Bye. Put it out there.
Paul.
Bye.
Well done.
On Facebook.
Congrats, Derek, again. Okay. It'll be hard to leave.
It's my
Very
dog
hard.
saying goodbye.
Here, Rabbi. I know you can't speak.
Dog. I'm going to sit back.
Timo.
Everybody's flashing up.
The number of participants is
Yeah.
really going down.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Co-watch.
Bye-bye, Cole.
Bye, Mary.
All these people, huh?
Night, Mary. Sleep
All
well.
these people
Dearie,
don't-
keep well.
Thank you. The night.
Do you feel it, Carl?
That dog like
people.
Nice one, lad.
You guys, good night.
very dreamy eyes more.
That
Bye,
night.
Phil. Bye, Phil. And bye, Seamus.
You, Catherine.
bye.
Oh, and Cathal. Slán. Bye, Molly.
Slán, see you, Mike.
Crazy, huh? 40 down to 69. That worked really well. I'll do that again.
How do
Good
we
night, folks.
exit?
I think you can leave the meeting down the bottom right corner.
Okay.
There's a red
Okay,
button that
yeah.
says,
Paul's going to end it now.
yeah. I'm going to end the meeting now.
Take
Oh, no.
care.
Take care.
Bye.